Tomatoes, however you want to say it. It's the focus of this morning's In the Garden segment. Here's Dabney Morgan.
Hello everybody. Well, I tell you, today we're going to talk about planting tomatoes. I know a lot of you already have tomatoes in the ground, but I know for a fact there are many yet have planted. So we're going to give them a little tip on how to get a great plant growing for the season. And before we put our tomato plant in the ground, we have a formula that we like to use. 1 cup of lime, 1 cup of manure, 1 cup of bone meal, and then a couple of tablespoons of a good slow-release fertilizer. Now, the reason for doing these 4 things is the lime is to take care of the blossom end rot, the manure is to add the organic matter, and of course the bone meal is to encourage fruit, and the fertilizer to get it growing right away. Once we get these down in the ground, down under the plant, then we're ready to plant our tomato. And even though you may select a tall one like this, when we get ready to plant this, we're going to take the bottom leaves off completely, and from my fingers down we're going to put it in the ground as you're seeing here on a 45-degree angle. Now everybody wants to know, why do a 45-degree angle? Well, your granddaddy used to plant them deep. The problem is when you plant a tomato plant deep in a home garden, with the rains that we get so many times, these bottom roots die off. If we do it on an angle, we're going to maintain the root system here. We're going to form roots all up and down this stem, so we're going to have a much sturdier plant, and it's going to go all the way into November. We'll still get tomatoes. Once we get the tomato plant planted, then of course put your marigolds, your basil around the plant to help keep the bugs off, and as your tomato plant starts to bloom, remember there is a product you can use, particularly this time of year with the cool weather, Blossom Set, which we can spray directly on the blooms to help them set fruit. Now this big plant was grown in a greenhouse, so as you can see we have some tomatoes formed, and nothing wrong with putting this plant in the ground as well, or as you see here, we can grow tomatoes in a container as long as we feed regularly. Should your plants already be in the ground and you start to develop blossom end rot, that's where the bottom of the tomato turns black, we can still save your tomatoes by spraying with a rot stop product, and this is liquid lime we spray directly on the tomatoes. So just because they're in the ground doesn't mean you've missed out, but have that rot stop ready to go. Now those of you that missed the formula, you can go to wavy.com. On your side, Dabney's Gardening Tips, the formula is right there for you. It's so great to be back out in the field again. Missed everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Monday we're going to talk about spring color, so we'll see you noon Monday.